Hello everyone, my name is Hani Tumralia and I am going to present on the topic Introduction to Hyphenated Method. The first thing that comes to your mind is what is this hyphen? The hyphen means a hyphen is used to either join two words to make it a more specific meaningful word. Now in this analytical techniques, the hyphen is used to combine to present the combination of two or more techniques to give a better result. Now, hyphenated techniques refer to a combination of two or more techniques to separate chemical components from solution and detect them. Hyphenated techniques is combination or coupling of two different analytical techniques with the help of proper interface. Mainly, chromatographic techniques are combined with spectroscopic techniques as they are most common and very much specific and gives best result. Now, this proper interface is very important for the method. Uh, Sometimes instead of hyphen, slash is used in the name to describe the technique due to the presence of hyphen itself in the name, like HPLC slash ESI hyphen MS. The remarkable improvements in hyphenated analytical methods over the last 2 decades have significantly broadened application in analysis of biomaterial and especially natural products. Now, a couple of decades ago, Hirschfeld introduced this term hyphenated technique. Uh, he stated this hyphenation technique as exploitation of advantages of two or more techniques together. And this technique it is either used for separation or separation and identification or identification and identification. Now recent advances in application of various hyphenated techniques examples are BCMS, which is very commonly used, LCMS also used, LCFTIR, which is also very commonly used, LCM NMR, CEMS, etc. Hyphenated techniques combine together chromatographic and spectral methods to exploit the advantages of both, as I mentioned earlier. Chromatography produces pure or nearly pure fraction of chemical components from a mixture, and these pure fractions are then uh, put into a spectroscopic machinery to produce a selective information for identification using standard or library spectra. So, chromatography produces pure or nearly pure chemical compounds, and spectroscopy produces selective information by identification using standards. Now, hyphenated techniques ranges from combination, which I mentioned earlier, that is separation and separation, means the separation is carried out twice if there are more than two components together. Then separation and identification if there are two or more components which are basically separated in the first step only. Then identification and identification in which there are two or more components to identify, or if there are less probability that this compound is present. So if we compare it with standard, it is having two or more similarities, etc. Now, in this diagram I have shown the first SPE is the analyte sample. We introduced it to the separation technique, which is GC, HPLC, or CE, which is combined. This separation technique is combined with a detection technique, that is identification technique, which is PDA, IR, NMR, MS, PDA, etc. These two combined together, hence called hyphenation. There is multiple optional hyphenation present, and after this detection technique, there is further detection techniques. Now these are the list of hyphenated techniques like GCMS, gas chromatography, mass chromatography together, liquid chromatography and mass chromatography, liquid chromatography, nuclear magnetic resonance, liquid chromatography and Fourier transfer infrared spectroscopy, electrochemical mass spectroscopy, capillary electrophoresis mass spectroscopy, chromatography and infrared spectroscopy, liquid chromatography, mass spectroscopy, which is again carried out with mass spectroscopy, followed by and GCMS, GCMS, MS, GCNMR, ICP, inductively coupled plasma with mass spectroscopy, ICP with absorption, atomic absorption spectroscopy, etc. These are the few which I have mentioned. There are many more coming, and the uh, it is recently it is getting advanced. These two techniques have helped in many ways, and its application is far. Now these are the two examples which I've explained. Now in GCMS offers more structural information. Now for GCMS, compound uh, should should fall in the conditions of GC and as well as MS, which is adequately volatile, small, stable in high temperature, etc. In LCIR, the hyphenated technique developed from liquid chromatography and detection method like IR or FTIR is called LCIR or HPLCIR or LCFTIR. While HPLC is most powerful separation technique available today, the IR is useful for spectroscopic technique for identification of organic compound, which because in the mid IR region, the structure of organic compounds have many absorption bands and are characteristic of particular functionalities. Now, these are the few advantages of hyphenated technique. First is to solve the complex problems. Second is shorter analysis and high shorter analysis time and high precision. I misplaced the end. Then the third one is higher degree of automation, as all the work is done by the instrument. We have to only put a sample inside it with the standard. Then high sample throughput means then better reproducibility means the sample means the results can be reproduced again and again. Reduction of contamination because it is a closed system. Enhance combined selectivity and therefore higher degree of information. Provides excellent separation as well as acquisition of online complementary spectroscopic data on LC or GC peak of interest within a complex mixture. These are the few applications. First is useful for research and development purposes. Second is for identification of molecular ion or components. Then third is used for confirmation of purity and identity of components by measuring the exact mass and calculating the elemental composition. Fourth is for DNA analysis of blood sample and other fluids. Then fifth is isolation and analysis of natural products as well as sometimes synthetic products too. Then determination of toxicity and ecotoxicity of certain elements. These are the few references from which I have prepared this slide. Thank you.